friends, welcome back to my channel. So I had a really fun idea for today's video. I've rebuilt my first ever Christmas build, which I built a year ago, and I did a tutorial for it on my channel. So I followed that tutorial myself and remade that build because I want to renovate it and see how much I've improved since then, because my building skills have improved ridiculously over the last year. I built very simply when I first started, as you'll see in this build here. So I want to renovate this build and try and make it a little bit better, even though it's still quite a cute build, really. Like, for a first time builder, it's not too bad. So this is the gingerbread house that I made last year. I can't believe I only did 2 Christmas builds last year. That's crazy. I did this build and I did a Christmas toy store. That's all I did. I did more than that this year in November before December had even started. So how did I only do 2 Christmas builds last year? I don't know. But I'm ready to do another one and redo this build here. So this is my gingerbread house, like I was saying. It's a very simplistic gingerbread house, which was kind of based on an actual gingerbread house, which are quite simple. They're normally like 4 walls and a roof. That's the kind of vibe I was going for with this. We have these kind of candy canes lining the path here. I do want to point out that the colouring in the game has changed since I made this house. If you guys remember, we had the huge update with the garden update where the lighting changed and colours changed. So this build was built way before then, and it looks a little bit different to how it did back then. So back then this was more of a brown than an orange. But I just wanted to point that out because inside the lighting is really off as well. Like, it's very bright. But this is the gingerbread house. Out the front here, I just kind of had these like rocks that I used to be like gumdrops. They look really bad, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I just had like 2 like this. We had lights going down the windows again to be like candies on the wall. We have loads of these garlands, which I do think are really pretty. I really like these. I'm definitely going to keep those on the build. And we had a little gingerbread man outside the door. And then if we head inside the build here, it's very simplistic. Like, I wanted it to look like actual food, so I was kind of going for like icing vibes around the place. So all this is like kind of made to look like icing. But this is the house. We have a Christmas tree here. We just have like a simple fireplace, sofa set up here. There's some things I didn't repaint at all. So like, I never repainted the snow globe or this garland, which is strange because I normally repaint everything. But yeah, this is like the kitchen area, which is so bright because I use these lights to be like gumdrops along the top of the counter. These pictures did have pictures in them, but I couldn't find the old decals, so I just kind of left them as they were. Yeah, it's not really too much furniture in here. We have a little gingerbread man here. This room is the bathroom, which I think is probably the worst room in the house. This is a really bad bathroom. Like, I just had a random shower kind of place at the side here, which is really weird. I don't like how I use these lights to be like a skirting board. I'm so glad we have like actual wall trimmings now, which looks so much better. More gumdrops, which are making this room literally glow. Yeah, that's the bathroom. Not my favourite room. And then this room here is the little bedroom, which I at the time I said it was like the gingerbread man's house, but why would the gingerbread man live inside a gingerbread house? Like, that's kind of like living inside of his flesh, which is a little bit creepy. But yeah, that is the gingerbread house as it looks at the moment. It's not amazing. I'm really excited to renovate it and see what we can do, because I recently made a new gingerbread house in my build off with my friend Ashley. I really loved how that gingerbread house turned out, so I'm excited to do another one. I also did a gingerbread bakery. I'm doing gingerbread everything this year because I love gingerbread, but I'm excited to see what we're going to do with this house. So I'm going to head into build mode now. I'm going to renovate the house and then I'll be back with you guys afterwards so we can take a look and see what I've done. So I finished renovating the build and it looks so cute. I'm so happy with how this gingerbread house has turned out. So this is now what the gingerbread house looks like. I have changed a lot. It's like a completely different build to what it started. I did try to keep a lot of the stuff as well. So like I reused the garlands and the snowflakes and the windows. And you'll see if you watch the speed build that I did reuse a lot of things. And like these are the original candy canes. I just kind of moved stuff about, repainted things and just made it look a whole lot better. So this is a gingerbread house now. I did add an extra story upstairs. You can't access that, but it's just kind of for like the outside to make it look a little bit better. But on the outside I just built some like mountains around it because I feel like landscaping around builds make them look so much better, because just kind of having a build just placed in the middle of the plot just looks a little bit awkward. So I really like to landscape around them and make them look a little bit more detailed. So I just kind of threw some trees, some mountains, we've got a couple of snowman friends, a few of these like gumdrops about, which I really love. So these are the new bushes. So before I used the rocks, now I use the actual bushes and turn them into gumdrops. But I have this kind of little path thing that I did all the way around the gingerbread house. I really like how it looks. Yeah, it's just a really cute looking gingerbread house. Let's head back to the front. So I have changed the colour of the actual gingerbread. So before it was quite orangey, I felt like it was a little bit too orange. So I went for a more like warm brown colour and I think it looks so much better. This is the house overall. Like, how nice does this look? It looks so yummy. I just want to take a bite out of this gingerbread house. It's covered in icing all along the bottom, and then we have lots of little garlands all over it, which I imagine to be like sweeties. And then we have this path leading up to the house. I'm loving doing these paths at the moment. I just hate that they say e-plant all over them. I wish they didn't, but yeah, so I use like some of the like planter things and like rocks and stepping stones and stuff to be able to make this path. I think it just looks really nice, and you guys have seen that I've been doing it in so many builds. But this is a gingerbread house now. I do definitely think it has improved drastically. So let's head inside. As you can see, it's a lot more full now. Before it was kind of empty, very simplistic, so it's a lot fuller than it was before. I feel like that sounded really weird, but it's got more furniture in it than it did before. I'll just zoom in and kind of pan around a little bit for you guys. So this is the original fireplace that was in the build. I've now painted green. This garland was also in the build before, and this is the Christmas tree that we had in the build as well. If I just pan around, you'll see we have the gingerbread man where he was before. We have the original sofa is now here, and I also added a second sofa and an armchair as well. So this is now the living room area. Definitely got so much more in it than it did before. It was very like plain before. It was literally just a fireplace, this table and this sofa, and then like the poinsettia plant. Like, it looked very plain, so this looks so much better. Also, I'm loving this ceiling light. I never use this, but I think it looks really nice in like this wooden texture. I'm definitely going to be using this a whole lot more now that I've found that I really love it. As you can see, I've used it all throughout the house. Like, each room has this light in it. And then over here in the kitchen area, I have changed quite a bit as well. I'm just going to jump over the sofa so I don't have to squeeze past things. But this is now the kitchen area. It's a lot bigger. I don't have the awkward separate floor to the living room and kitchen. Some people do that really nicely where they have like the separate floor for the living room and kitchen in an open plan house, but I never think it looks very nice when I do it. I don't know how other people do it, but I got rid of that. We now just have wooden floor all the way through. We have a huge kitchen table in here. I'm loving this table. Like, this table, like in the catalogue, it's got like metal legs and a wooden top, and I always think it looks very like modern. But I once saw it in a subscriber's house painted in wooden, and I really loved how it looked with like the curved edges, and ever since that I've been using this table so much. I just think it looks so cute when it's wooden. It doesn't look quite as modern as it did in the catalogue. It just looks like a very cute wooden table. But this is the kitchen area. We have the huge table. We have the same counters as before, but I've painted them and they look way better than they did. They were too bright in white. I added a fridge as well because I realised we we had a fridge, but I realised we didn't have an oven in the house, so I added an oven. So it is a functional kitchen now. You can actually like cook things in here. I mean, if you can get past the chairs. Maybe the end chairs would have to go if you're actually going to use this house. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but I really love how this looks now. I think it's so cute, and we have a door that just leads outside to where I've shown you already. I kept the layout of the house the same, so I haven't changed the size of any of the rooms. I've just redone them. This room here is still the bedroom, but it now looks way better. Also, I've discovered I love this like mix of wood here. So this is linen, and then I can't remember what this colour is. I don't know if it's just brown. I feel like it's just brown, but I love the mixture of two woods. Like, I think this looks so cute. And also another little hack I found is that one of the new table runners fits perfectly on this dresser, so you can have like a fancy top and it looks so cute. I love it. But over here we have the desk with the same chair as before, but I've switched the desk out. I added a little Christmas tree on here and then just some like books and pens and stuff. This is one of the dressers we had before that's just repainted, and I put a few decorative bits on top. The bed is the same one as before, but I've moved it over, added some bedside tables, which again, I'm loving this placemat. I've been using this underneath like all sorts of stuff. I've been using it underneath the poinsettia plant, which looks really pretty. It also looks really pretty underneath the lamps like this. Like, it just adds a little bit of extra colour and detail to the build, so I'm loving it. And then over here we just have a wardrobe. I really wanted to add a wardrobe to this build. I don't know why. I feel like I never use like the big wardrobes like this, but for some reason in this build I really wanted it, so I added a wardrobe and a bookshelf with a teeny weeny little elf on top. Look how cute he is. And then we just have the present that was in the room already. I just had a random present like in this corner, but I've kind of moved it over, put the mirror here, and then just kind of kept the present. But yeah, a very cute little room. I definitely think this is very cozy. I'd love to have this bedroom over Christmas in real life. Like, I'd feel so snug in here. I'd just get under the covers with a hot chocolate and it would be so lovely. And then the final room in the house is of course the bathroom, which again I have redone. It looks way better. It was very awkward and plain before. I just didn't really like how it looked. I went for green plumbings. Is that the word? Like the toilet and stuff? It's called plumbings in the catalogue, but I feel like that's a weird name. But yeah, I painted them green, which like I would never normally do. Normally I always do like a white toilet, white sink, white bath. But for some reason this build I wanted to do green, and I actually really love how it looks. So I feel like I'm going to play around with colours on these a little bit more to make more interesting bathrooms. But yeah, this is the bathroom. We have the bath, which I haven't really changed. I just added a window here. The bottles and stuff are where they were originally. I've moved the shower from being awkwardly placed here to being at the end of the bath down there. The toilet, which I moved over slightly, and I added a toilet brush. And then the sinks, oh yeah, this is the same count as I had before. I just added some decorative bits on it because it was very plain, and it just had those like bright gumdrop lights on there that I had all over, which I've definitely deleted because they were just way too bright for the update that happened with the lighting. But that is my little gingerbread house now. I definitely think it has improved so much since I first built it. I'm trying to find a good place to stand here, but I'm struggling. This'll do. Yeah, I definitely think it's improved so much since I first built this house. I really love doing videos like this where I get to go back and redo some of my older builds, because building as often as I do, like I build at least once a week, like at least. Sometimes I go crazy and do loads of builds in a week, but I do at least one build a week. So doing that, I have like improved so much with my building. So it's really nice to go back and kind of do up an old build and make it look as good as my newer build. So it's been really nice to do that with this build. Let me know what you think to the renovation down in the comments below. As always guys, please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Comment down below with any future video ideas, and a huge thank you for watching. Bye guys. Mwah.